Guys, just hear me out for 1 second. Say you don't like Trump, right? Say you watched the joint address to Congress tonight and you truly are not a Trump fan. I just want to know one thing. If you're a Democrat, for instance, how do you justify them not standing or applauding for any of the topics or things that he stood for? Like, how do you not stand or applaud when he brings up protecting women after the Laken Riley incident? How do you not stand and applaud when he brings out a young boy with brain cancer and makes him a federal agent? How do you not applaud and stand when he says he hopes to balance the federal budget for the first time in 25 years? How do you not stand when he brings up protecting women, specifically men and women's sports? How do you not stand when he says he wants to bring about peace and end the wars? You see the point I'm getting at here. How can you be a Democrat and stand for anything? Even if you don't like Trump, okay? The American people are watching this and they care about what your opinion is and how you stand with these issues, no matter who the president is. I just think that this party's done. I don't know what else to tell you. They've gone so far left, they have no answer for anything that they believe in. What do they believe in?
Now, y'all know I don't really do politics, but it's getting to the point where it's just hilarious because it's so high school. So now the Democrats are being accused of being insensitive and not clapping for a 13-year-old cancer survivor. Battler, because he's battling cancer right now. They didn't even stand up and clap for him. So they're saying that they hate Trump so much that they just like screw the little boy. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
So pathetic. They couldn't even stand for Laken Riley's family. Jocelyn Nungary, his mother, a slain officer's wife, Stephanie Diller. They couldn't even stand for a beautiful 13-year-old cancer survivor who dreams of being a police officer and tonight became a Secret Service agent, DJ Daniel. He said, "This is my 5th time at a joint address from President Trump. And sadly, there is nothing this president could do or say that would make these Democrats stand and cheer. This has now become a party of rage and hate, a radicalized party reduced to a collective temper tantrum, sitting on their hands, doing nothing for the American people. But tonight, this is also a defeated party. No solutions, no coherent message, no plan for the future, simply reduced to political stunts and smears and outright lies."
But you wanna know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up. And then my dad was calling my name. And I started going to the slow thing. And he said, "Stop playing with me." And I then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow. And then as soon as he said that, we were speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital. And then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "Nah, we're gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries. And that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They have 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
Yo, it's supposed to be president is worried about somebody not clapping for his ass. When I tell y'all this man is so damn petty and childish, he's in his feelings because the Democrats are not cheering him on and not clapping. I've been up here 5 times and not... Anyway, watch the video.
This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
Dems are like, I don't give a damn. Y'all the Democrats. Don't nobody give a damn about his lying ass feelings. This man took the time out to throw a tantrum because the Democrats are not going along with his lies.
How do you not cheer for a kid battling cancer? I legitimately don't understand what the Democrats were thinking here. So the most emotional moment during President Trump's speech was when he honored a kid named DJ Daniel, who has been battling brain cancer for years. He wanted to be in law enforcement. They made him an honorary member of the Secret Service. The head of the Secret Service gave him a badge. He hugged the guy. It was beautiful. The crowd was chanting his name, DJ, DJ. And then you cut to the shot of the Democrats, and they're not standing. Why not? I get that they don't want to cheer for Trump's policies. I get that there's a real debate to be had about whether Trump's potential cuts to Medicaid actually will hurt kids with cancer. But that kid, DJ, has nothing to do with that. He's just a kid. And politicians do their best when they reflect the way their voters feel. And the average person watching that moment with the kid is not thinking about partisan talking points. They're thinking they want to give that kid a hug as well, and they would want somebody to cheer for their kid if they were in that situation. By not doing so, the Democrats look very out of touch with the way an average human being reacts, and it is not going to help them win back control.
First of all, but everything started off just all wrong, right? Like I was sitting next to Melanie Stansberry, who was on the aisle, and Melanie literally had a sign that said, "This is not normal." And so she stood there as he walked in, and then a colleague from across the aisle decided to snatch her sign, throw it up, and ball it up and throw it on the floor. And Melanie's like, oh my gosh. And so, you know, she wasn't doing anything like what Marjorie does, ever, right? Ever. No hooping, no hollering, no none of that or whatever. And so, you know, she's like, I'm ready to go. And it was before he began speaking. And I was like, girl, I am too. But we had an agreement because we wanted to walk out in a group. But then Al Green threw everything off, and Al Green went off on his own to do something different, and we had no idea. But I think that the people want to know that we are frustrated just like them. And we are. We're very frustrated. We're limited in our numbers, but we are not limited in heart. So just know, like, we are here to fight. But we need you. We need you to make sure that you're paying attention at all the elections, the city elections, the county elections, the state elections, because those are the people that are going to push back against this administration. And listen, we're only 3 seats away from taking the House, and if I have my way, we'll take it before the 2-year mark. We've got 3 special elections that are coming up, 2 in Florida and 1 in New York. And I know a lot of people want to say, there's no way, Rep, there's no way. Listen, there's no way if we don't try. But we know that it was a special election that brought us Doug from Alabama to the Senate, a Democrat. We know it was special elections that got us 2 Democrats out of Georgia to the Senate. Listen, when we unite,
we can get it done. And listen, the facts are on our side. The things that we're fighting for, they're not just for Democrats, they're for everybody. So if we want to protect veterans, if we want to protect farmers, if we want to protect hospitals, then it all starts with making sure that we can have real conversations about those things. It's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's not about rural versus urban. What it's about is whether or not we are going to be the united or divided states of America.
Yo, Trump is exposing the Democratic Party in real time, and they are stuck.
Want to do that. This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
And then 20 to 30 minutes within Trump's speech, bruh, the Democratic Party goes on to basically prove Trump is right on what he said.
Thank you, DJ.
In this video right here, bro, this one right here is just an example. Like, how the fuck do you not stand up and then clap, celebrate, pretend like you're fucking happy for a kid who was diagnosed with brain cancer in 2018, given 5 months to live? Like, how the you can clap for Ukraine and shit like that, but you can't, bro. The Democratic Party loves illegal aliens and foreign countries more than they love American citizens and our own fucking country. Shit is sad. You know, man, and I wish I could say it stopped there because the shit is just disgusting, but MSDNC basically just puts the cherry on top, basically solidifying what Trump was saying.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ, and I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Absolute goblins. Social media explodes after Dems do not stand for a 13-year-old cancer-stricken survivor. Truly sick people. The Democrats didn't even stand for the boy who survived brain cancer, one conservative activist said. Now, I know you're thinking, well, conservative activist said it, but you can actually go and have a look at the footage. This was at Trump's speech that he did yesterday. Now, in the same speech, he was obviously slaughtering the Democrats for how they've made the country. And obviously, they weren't taking it very lightly, because then when he chose to name a park after a woman whose child was ended by a gang of Venezuelan gang members, he named a park after it. The Democrats didn't clap and stand for that. They then didn't stand and clap for this kid, 13-year-old, who's been made a Secret Service member by Trump. Everyone else stood up clapping, and then you could see, I mean, it cuts the cameras to people, the Democrats. And they was just, this was it. Now, it looks like she's clapping there. She wasn't. You can actually have a look at the actual whole footage. So that's what you're dealing with, those people. Now, I understand if you're getting called out for your BS but there's a time and a place for it. And when it's to do with a kid who's sick, I'm going to do another video about this on my other page where I can express it a bit more happily.
Also, this is Miss Lincoln Hope Riley. She was unalived by an illegal immigrant, and the illegal immigrants were persecuted to the full extent of the law. And Trump made her and another lady who was unalived by an immigrant, he honored them there with their parents there, as well as a couple of other people. So people are questioning how the Democrats handled this whole conference entirely. Were they professional? Were they not professional? Y'all know me. As far as this is concerned, these people do deserve our respect, in my opinion. Nobody wants to be unalived by anybody. And the boy trying to survive cancer, this is a great honor for him. He looks so happy. He looks so surprised about the situation. I, for one, am happy for him.
Fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do.
That's Donald Trump at his State of the Union speech, claiming that Democrats won't clap for anything he does, even if he solves disease and things like that. Democrats are absolutely willing to clap for things like reproductive rights for women, funding cancer research, investing in infrastructure, things that actually help the American people, not whatever the hell Donald Trump is doing. Those are things that Democrats will actually clap for. We support. Democrats, however, won't clap for Donald Trump cutting Medicare, cutting Medicaid, cutting crucial programs that help you so Elon Musk can get another tax break. So far in this speech, Donald Trump has just lied over and over and over again. And he's lying to justify his bailout of the ultra wealthy. He's not fighting for you. He's not fighting for me. He's fighting for people like Jeff Bezos. He's fighting for Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. He's taking that money from your pocket. So remember that for the rest of this speech.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret.
Well, I just finished watching Donald Trump's State of the Union speech, and it is legitimately one of the worst speeches I've ever seen, certainly one of the worst joint addresses to Congress I've ever seen. Throughout that entire speech, he lied and lied and lied some more. You know, Americans are struggling right now. Prices are going up, GDP is falling, the stock market is falling, recession fears are going up. And instead of addressing those very real fears, Donald Trump decided to instead talk about invading Panama and Greenland and putting tariffs on our allies. I mean, it's insane. You know, Donald Trump also said he was going to lower prices on day one, that he was going to eliminate inflation on day one. And right now, prices are going up for average everyday Americans, and he's silent about that. He's lying to you saying, oh, everything's so great. No, everything is not so great. An entire speech, he ignored issues that actually matter and instead focused on things that he cares about and his pet projects. Trump is giving out tax cuts to billionaires like Elon Musk. You are suffering at home. Your programs are now on the table for cutting. The policies that support you, your friends, your family, your loved ones are on the cutting board for Donald Trump. Terrible speech. Insanity.
This was fantastic. Tonight was incredible. This is the fifth State of the Union address I've seen Trump give. It was by far his best. We're just over a month into it, and he had a litany of victories that we've already won, one after the other after the other. Listen, I thought he was joyful. I thought he was forward-looking. I thought he had the promise of America front and center. And I got to say the contrast. I have never seen such a disgraceful display as the Democrats put on. I've been to 13 State of the Union addresses altogether since I've been in the Senate. I've been to every one. I've never missed one. It started from the moment he walked in and was introduced, the President of the United States. Not a single Democrat stood, not a single Democrat applauded, not one. I've never seen that happen. Every time Joe Biden walked into that chamber and they introduced him as the President of the United States, I stood my butt up and I clapped. Every time Barack Obama walked in, I stood up and clapped. Even when I couldn't stand their policies, even when I was horrified at what they were doing, I respect the office of the President of the United States and I respect the American people.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
Yo, Democrat. Y'all better stand. Let's go, man. I love that. Show that boy some love, man. Them Democrats better be standing up.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Yeah. He did it. Look at the Lord working. Y'all can't clap for that. They can't clap for that. These people going straight to hell.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
He said, what? That's so freaking cool, bro. Oh! Yeah.
Thank you, DJ.
Democrats can't stand for that.
DJ's
It started out with Al Green getting thrown off the House floor because he couldn't keep his emotions under control. Then they had the ridiculous titles, which now social media is roasting.
That you said false on one side. And
ridiculous.
Elon on
and
the
then
other.
finally, and maybe most terribly,
calling Democrats
didn't
ridiculous.
Find it in their heart to stand for objectively good things, including the 95-year-old mother of Mark Fogel and Mark, who got rescued from a Russian prison. And they couldn't even stand up for that. I thought Democrats came into this speech lost.
Democrats
and
wouldn't
defeated
stand
by
for
Donald Trump,
anything
and today
tonight.
Looks to me like they're even more lost and even more defeated than when this speech started.
Well, there was a clear juxtaposition. So I thought Alyssa Slotkin knocked it out of the park. It makes sense that they chose her, but she laid out a winning messaging playbook for Democrats that I suspect they're going to summarily ignore. What we saw, the theatrics tonight in the paper, are not being well received. And as we saw recently at the DNC candidate forum, it didn't sound like that. It didn't sound like pocketbook issues. It didn't sound like saying, my neighbors might support Trump, but that doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Interesting.
They continually elevate people who are leaning, as Republicans have, but into the name calling, into the demonizing and filing articles.
CNN's not jumping on board, huh?
If Democrats talk like Alyssa Slotkin, they're going to
maybe they'll say that. I don't know.
Certainly people don't. So just 1 second. Certainly, people who don't like name calling would have gravitated to the president's speech tonight.
Yeah, I just think that what world are we living in right now? Like, Donald Trump just gave a campaign speech in the joint address. It was not a
Hey y'all, I just got back from the presidential address watch party. I'm exhausted. My only request is that they move these up in the future, meaning like 7 o'clock, okay, 6 o'clock. As a former liberal and now independent, I'm going to tell y'all this. I am a bit disappointed and left emotional and very tired. You know, I'm disappointed in the Democrats. I try to hope for the best on both sides, but tonight the Democrats acted like sore losers to me, and let me explain. So tonight wasn't only about policy, it was about optics, it was about strategy, it was about leadership, it was about uniting the people, and the Democrats failed on all three. Trump is the king of optics, we know that, and the Republicans basically brought in families who lost their loved ones to crime, real people, real pain, and the Democrats, they sat there, arms crossed, refusing to even acknowledge these moments, even the moments that should have brought everyone together. They didn't clap, they didn't stand, they didn't smile, they didn't do anything. They actually clap for the things that are bad. And every moment in there represented a missed opportunity that the Democrats failed to act on. And they are being so bitter and so angry and so upset that they can't even realize how bad they're making themselves look. And that's the problem. This isn't about serving people anymore. It's about ego, it's about tribalism, and it's about parties and power. And if they had any strategy or some PR person that would help them, they would have ignored the hate, okay, stood up, clapped, and promised to work for the betterment of people. Instead, they look bitter. They look like sore losers. They look like they don't do well at teamwork either. And they have poor sportsmanship. And they looked guilty of the very things they're being accused of. They look guilty of funding criminals, of ignoring crime, misusing money, and putting others before the American people. And their response, more finger pointing at Trump at the end. All they did was talk about Trump, okay? I'm tired of that. Democrats, y'all have to start talking about the issues y'all are going to address, what you're going to fix, what legislation you're working on. Y'all have to work. You can't just keep making promises about social issues, and you got to do the work. It's moments like this that remind me why I left the left, honestly, and why I don't feel like I align with the culture of it anymore. It's just not producing results. It's about bullying, forcing people to conform, and silencing dissent. And I prefer to be an independent. BBC was there. I did answer a few questions. I'm a little nervous how they might break that down. I need to follow up with that. But what did y'all think about the address tonight? Did the Democrats fumble, or am I just being too harsh?
Who else was completely disgusted with how the Democrats behaved last night at Trump's address to Congress? I was completely disgusted. I mean, you got to remember when Biden gave his State of the Union, it was very dark, and Republicans did not like it, but they respected the office. They stood up. They stood up on moments that they could stand up on. They didn't stand up for a lot of it, but they stood up for some of it. They respected the office. The Democrats didn't respect the office. They didn't respect any of Trump's cabinet picks. And they didn't respect the American people. They acted like little babies. They acted like little children. These are grown people who are paid to do a job. Can you imagine going to your job acting like the Democrat did last night? Standing up in Congress with signs and stuff, just like losers, just idiots. And the fact that these represent you, they represent the Democrats. I don't know how the Democrats could win another election the way these people are acting. These people are not acting like elected officials. They're acting like children that are throwing a tantrum because their candidate lost.
You know, I know you did talk to the First Lady. You have not spoken to the President directly. He, I think, is watching right now. What would you like to say to Donald Trump?
I like to say thank you to him, and I hope he got his cowboy hat, because I bought him a brown one from Texas, but I'm not sure if they got it out the thing where they check it, because the dog had to sniff it and stuff like that.
I got a feeling after you just said that, they're going to make sure that he gets it. And listen, the whole world watched you last night, and we're praying for you during your treatment. And we were all crying. Were you crying, DJ? Or Dad?
Not at all.
Not at all. Holy cow. It was really something. Guys, thank you very much for joining us on Fox and Friends, and have a safe trip back to Houston.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, DJ.
We have some major breaking news. Democrats are walking out of Donald Trump's State of the Union speech right now as we speak. Here's currently a picture of Congress. You can see all the Republican side is full because they love hearing their cult leader speak, but on the Democratic side, you can see it's emptied out a lot. Democrats like Representative Jasmine Crockett walked out and released a statement talking about how Donald Trump is just lying to their faces and lying to the American people. And so far, this speech is absolutely one of the worst that has ever been given to Congress in the form of State of the Union or just a joint address. Like, Donald Trump has talked about invading Greenland and taking Panama, but no mention of how, the stock market is crumbling and how our GDP growth has tumbled and how a recession is possible in the near future. He just keeps rambling and rambling. It's now officially the longest State of the Union speech ever in American history, and he said nothing. This speech is just yet another disaster from Donald Trump, but I think anybody could have really expected that.
Unbelievable, man. Democrats just showed how out of touch they are with America, how out of touch they are with humanity. You can't stand and applaud the widow of a police officer killed in the line of duty. You can't stand and applaud and respect a mother of a 13-year-old who was brutalized and murdered by MS-13 gang members. And this one takes the cake. You can't stand and applaud that cute little kid from Texas in his police uniform who survived brain cancer and was given Secret Service credentials by President Trump. You're just going to sit there? Man, what an eye-opener. I know why they can't stand. They don't have a backbone.
If this didn't make you cry a little bit and make you proud of Trump at the same time, you're fucking heartless. I don't care who you are.
Oh my God! Did y'all see the presidential speech? Oh my God! Was there anybody like this the whole time? Oh my God, no, oh my God. I'm almost sure that 95% of America did not agree with everything he was saying. We literally had a presidential fucking Oscars. Literally. Cause what the fuck the kid got to do with anything? Like, okay, if you the CIA, we not supposed to know you. Hello, we're not supposed to know you at all when it comes to the CIA. Again, what the fuck? No, seriously, y'all. And then we were supposed to get like a rebuttal, not a rebuttal speech, but more of a speech that kind of clarifies at the end of what they were fucking meaning to say if people perceived it differently. We went ahead and got the Democratic response first, and let me tell you, Democratic representative, Alyssa, I'm not finna sit up there and embarrass myself about your last name, but Alyssa, thank you, boo. Sick of y'all shit here in America. Get your fucking shit together.
All right, so y'all heard everybody's opinions on how the Democrats handle it. Somebody approved and somebody didn't. It was a couple of people who said the Democrats stood on business, and then there was a couple of people who said have some respect, be a professional. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Again, like I said, these people didn't ask for the circumstances they were in, and I do believe they themselves needed to be honored and, supported. And if you don't want to acknowledge Trump's policy, you don't have to. That's just my opinion. But I personally, for me, would have at least stood up for the people who are no longer here as families, and for the young boy who is still battling cancer. There was also a man that was in a prison, I want to say in Russia, and Trump was able to get him home. So I mean, it's a lot of wins for them as they get some get to get their families back, some get to be honored for something they wanted to do for a long time, and other family members were able to see their loved ones that are no longer here honored. So I mean, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, and I will check back with y'all later.
We in a no hyena zone. Anti-hyena zone. It's my hyena zone.